Hi, I'm James McGuire, and today we're talking about edge computing, those zillions of little devices out there on the internet that send back torrents of data at all times of the day and night. To provide insight into that, I'm joined by someone who knows a lot about the sector. With me is Brian Beal, Senior Director at VMware. Hello to you, Brian.
Hi, James. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, and I want to be fair and give you your full title. It's a long title. I need to look at my cheat sheet. Senior Director, Strategy and Solution Innovation at VMware, Telco and Edge Cloud Group. That is an impressive title, Brian, for sure.
Yeah, I've given up on even trying to get it to fit on business cards anymore. It's a long one.
Seems like yeah.
Yeah, it's a long title. But effectively, what I do at VMware, I look after our solution architect team. That is our field-facing team within the Telco and Edge Cloud business unit. So we're the folks that are out meeting with our customers, discussing, of course, Edge Cloud, but also Telco, which includes things like NFV and 5G architectures, things like that.
Right. And I've got some great questions, and we have a number of ideas to kind of bat around. I want to let anyone who's watching or listening, please, we welcome your questions at any time. You don't have to wait until the end. Just hit the Q&A button down there at the bottom and ask a question. That there are no dumb questions, so feel free. So edge computing, I think it's commonly known, but so many terms in technology are thrown around in so many ways. What exactly is edge computing? If that's not too basic a question.
No, that's a great place to start. So
Yeah.
I think the industry is still trying to decide on a very firm definition. It's kind of like cloud, 12 plus years ago. We're still moving it around. But if you think of it, it's moving the compute and the use case as close to the user as possible, with the goal of being a better user experience for that application. So if you think of how cloud centralized everything into one big data center, the edge is basically the peeling back of that and actually moving stuff out closer to the user in a much smaller footprint. That's basically the short version.
Yeah, I like the short version. I mean, when you say moving stuff, you mean actually we are talking about sensors, zillions of little sensors, correct? Or is there something else going on there?
Well, that's one use case. It could be many things. It could be everything from cloud gaming to caching a video stream similar to CDN. It could be 5G is enabling a lot of use cases that consume edge for things like network slicing, security, quality of service. It could even be a white box in our house that's provided by our TV or internet company to power things like our home phone service and our Wi-Fi. I mean, it could be many things, but effectively it's getting a little bit of compute, a little bit of network, and a little bit of storage as close to that user as possible.
I see. So it is out. It's not obviously in the central data center. It's out where the actual users and businesses live and exist.
Yeah, and that's a good point. I mean, you can't break physics. And at the end of the day, the closer that use case is to the user, the lower the latency is. And for many use cases, that gives a better user experience. But there's also tiers of edge. There's a concept of near edge, far edge, deep edge. Sometimes it's called different things. But if you look at a telco, they might have a large central data center, but then they also have these central offices all over. And they might consider that, a near edge location. And then you get farther and farther out to maybe a box on the street or in an apartment complex, and that's one step closer to the customer. So there's actually tiers to edge as you get from the central data center all the way out to the user.